Have you ever wondered why international trade isn't as simple as buying and selling goods from one country to another? In the grand scheme of global economics, tariffs play a pivotal role. They're not just a financial barrier, but also a strategic tool governments use to protect domestic industries from foreign competition. But what happens when these barriers become a game of chess, with countries finding ingenious ways to navigate the maze? Let's take, for instance, the intriguing case of China and the United States. As you may know, the two powerhouses have often been at odds over trade tariffs. But here's the twist. China has found a clever workaround. It's using Mexico, another major player in the global market, as a conduit to bypass these tariffs. So instead of a straightforward trade route, we're looking at a fascinating detour that's reshaping the dynamics of international commerce. Intriguing, isn't it? Well, let's delve deeper into this fascinating game of international trade chess. How does a country like China manage to avoid tariffs imposed by a superpower like the United States? This question leads us to the art of tariff dodging, a strategic dance that requires a keen understanding of global economics and trade regulations. In this case, our focus is on China's use of Mexico as a strategic partner to circumvent US tariffs. The process is rather simple, yet shrewd. China, instead of shipping its goods directly to the United States, sends them first to Mexico. This maneuver is known as transshipping. Let's break it down. Transshipping is when goods are shipped to an intermediate country before reaching their final destination. By doing this, China effectively masks the origin of the goods, making it appear as though they are Mexican products rather than Chinese. This way, the goods avoid the hefty tariffs that would have been imposed had they been shipped directly from China to the United States. But why Mexico, you might ask? Well, Mexico has a free trade agreement with the United States, meaning that goods from Mexico aren't subject to the same tariffs as those from China. So, by rerouting their goods through Mexico, China is able to make use of this agreement to their advantage. Of course, this isn't without its challenges. Transshipping requires a level of cooperation from the intermediate country, in this case Mexico. It also requires intricate logistics planning and potentially increases the time it takes for goods to reach their final destination. Yet despite these hurdles, the benefits seem to outweigh the costs. By dodging tariffs, Chinese manufacturers can keep their prices competitive in the US market, ensuring their goods remain attractive to American consumers. So, China has found a way to play the system, but what does this mean for the economies involved? To answer that, we'll need to delve into the ripple effects of this practice, which we will explore in the next scene. Stay tuned as we continue to unravel this complex web of international trade. The ripple effects of China's tariff-dodging strategy are far-reaching, but who really pays the price? Let's take a moment and unravel this further. Starting with the United States, the intended recipient of the tariff revenue, the strategy employed by China effectively sidesteps the tariffs, leaving the US without the expected income. This could potentially lead to significant budget shortfalls, impacting numerous sectors of the economy. Now, let's look at China, the instigator of this clever maneuver. While this strategy might seem like a win, it's actually a delicate balancing act. China risks straining relations not just with the US, but with Mexico as well. Plus, these actions could lead to a backlash from other nations that feel they're being undermined. And what about Mexico, the unexpected participant in this global chess game? They find themselves in a tricky position. On one hand, they're benefiting from increased trade with China. On the other hand, they're at risk of being caught in the crossfire of a potential trade war between two of the world's largest economies. Finally, we must consider the broader implications for global trade norms. If one country can effectively dodge tariffs in this way, what's to stop others from following suit? This could lead to escalating trade tensions and a destabilization of international commerce. It's clear that in this intricate web of international trade, actions in one corner of the world can have significant consequences elsewhere. So what have we learned from this deep dive into the world of tariffs and trade? We've seen how China, like a grandmaster in chess, uses Mexico as a pawn to sidestep US tariffs. This strategic maneuvering demonstrates the intricate dynamics of international trade. It's important to understand these tactics as they ripple through the global economy. influencing markets and livelihoods. Remember, in the grand chessboard of international trade, every move counts. Until next time, keep asking questions and stay curious.